atmosphere must move. Shift it, Lord. Manifest your glory. Shift it, Lord. Manifest in me.
When we lift our hands, chains gotta break. When we raise our voice, strongholds shake. Spirit, soul, body, all in line. All three are gathered, manifestation time. Shift the atmosphere, shift our body, shift it now. Oh, glory's breaking now. All that is breaking now. Oh, spirit, soul, body, all aligned. Oh, all three are gathered, manifestation time.
Atmosphere shift, let your power fall. Spirit, soul, body, you can have it all. Manifest glory, let the world see. Your presence, Lord, is reality.
Oh, you make me whole.
Spirit, soul, and body restored in control. My body moves, declaring your name. My soul cries out, forever you reign. My spirit knows your word is true. What you spoke will manifest and break through.
Shift the atmosphere, our body, shift it now. Oh, glory's breaking now. Our body breaking now. Oh, spirit, soul, body, all aligned. Oh, all three are gathered, manifestation time.
Atmosphere shift, let your power fall. Spirit, soul, body, you can have it all. Manifest glory, let the world see. Your presence, Lord, is reality.
Oh, you make me whole.
Spirit, soul, and body
Restored in control. Moving in my spirit, moving in my soul. Feel it in my body. I've been made whole.
Spirit, soul, and body.
You make me whole. Moving in my spirit, moving in my soul. Feel it in my body.
I've been made whole. Shift it, Lord. Manifest your glory. Shift it, Lord. Manifest in me.
When we lift our hands, chains gotta break. When we raise our voice, strongholds shake. Spirit, soul, body, all in line. All three are gathered.
Testing, testing, testing.
Manifestation time.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, glory's breaking now. All that is breaking now. Oh, spirit, soul, body, all aligned. Oh, all three are gathered. Manifestation
I
time.
think we're good.
Atmosphere shift. Let your power fall. Spirit, soul, body. You can have it all. Manifest glory. Let the world see your presence, Lord, is reality.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the podcast. This podcast is called Tri-A-Logue, and the purpose is to just get started. Right. So I've had this podcast idea in my mind for a while, and in my research for my PhD, I decided that waiting to get it perfect, to get it right, to have all the resources lined up, to have all the people, to have the guests, the show outline, to the capital, the equipment. It's not really how it works. You gotta start somewhere. So as I grow, it will grow. As I learn more, the podcast will evolve. As I get more money, the quality will improve. So instead of waiting for everything to be in place, I'm just starting today. So welcome to the podcast. What will you hear? Okay, every Sunday morning, I am committed to journaling and meditating live. And this grew, like I said, out of my PhD research in spiritual psychology. And the work has challenged in me the traditional streams of thought. Um, I've been exploring generational trauma that was shaped through slavery and distorted the interpretations of scripture, and it continues to shape how we see God, how we interact with God, how we do church, how we interact with people. Um, it the way we were conditioned has shaped life itself, and I don't think we as people evolve with the times. At the center of this podcast is the reality of two natures: God, God's nature, and human nature. So when I developed the concept of God in therapy, um, I wanted to include a part that has been neglected, because everybody knows to go to God, but there's resistance to go to therapy. So putting the two concepts together is a part of my doctoral work, and the podcast is a way to share it. So, like I said, as I journal and grow and evolve, so will the show. So will the show. Yeah. So God is both an artist and an architect and architect, and he has embedded some safeguards into the creation. But religion has often been used as a tool of control, and like I said before, it reshaped how we relate to him. And because of this, healing requires a process of unlearning and reprogramming. And there are tools like journaling and different practices that are key to that. So even though this is not an exhaustive list, but really a journey of rethinking and reframing, um, this is a start to retraining the mind. So every class or workshop, whether there is a guest or multiple guests, or it's just me, it'll be mindfulness and meditation at the beginning with some sort of song or guided meditation time. And it doesn't have to be traditional. That's the key word here because I'm not going at this as in a traditional way. So it may be something to meditate on that's not quite gospel, or maybe not church, maybe a TED talk, just a portion, or a song that isn't deemed Christian but still has meaning and value. And then from there, we'll go on to whatever the topic or topics are for the week, um, give you some information to process, to reframe the thinking. And then there will be a live journaling session at the end. Haven't determined how long this is going to take, and I don't think it matters. Just go with the flow of the show. So here's to the pilot episode of Tri-A-Logue. Um, so today's mindfulness and meditation song that I chose was what I have developed as my theme song. So as of late, as a writer, I realized that I had been kind of limiting one of the limiting beliefs that I had placed on myself was the type of writing that I can do or am capable of doing. So I write short stories, I write spoken word and poems, I've written speeches, I've written countless numbers of papers, uh, and a fiction, a nonfiction piece or two. I spent a few decades ghostwriting. Um, but as of late, I realized that there are other things that can be written, of course, articles, but I've discovered songwriting as another evolution of the gift. So I wrote my own theme song as to avoid licensing issues, copyright issues, and that's the song that we are using for meditation today. And so when we use these songs, sometimes I'll break down the lyrics, um, so that we'll know what's being poured in. And the inspiration for that came from me as a DJ not being able to really listen to the radio. So I have uh, children, and two of them are small, still needing all of the parental services, right? Carpool or whatnot. And you know, when you have kids under 10, they're very impressionable, and how they start their day um, is very important. So it's it's a lot of work a lot of internal work to make sure that my morning doesn't impact their morning. And one of the ways to do that is music. What songs am I choosing for my children to listen to in the morning on the way to school? I was like, man, I got to be more intentional. So as I'm looking through songs, I'm like, you want them to have a little current bop situation, but the words are terrible. And what you pour into your ears seeps into your spirit, and it becomes the thing that's on repeat. So that is where I began to write my own music. Also, copyright. There are so many things you have to jump through in order to use other people's songs. So I wrote and developed my own theme song. And this one is tailor made for the podcast because it speaks to exactly what I'm trying to impact, which is this inner dialogue that we have, which is really a trialogue, right? So there's an internal conversation going on because of the way we have been designed. Uh, we have a spirit, we are a spirit that has a soul and lives in a body. It's what Christian trains of thought have considered to be tripartite, which just means three parts. So, you know, that Trinity idea is very prevalent in the Christian world. You have the Godhead, which is considered to be God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, which has been explained over time as one God with three presentations or three ways of communing with us, three ways of interacting and getting our attention. Um, but also the the model of how we're built, because Christianity also believes that we are made in the image of God. So if he is a Godhead three in one with the ability to interact in three different ways depending on what human nature needs, and we're made in his image, we are also compartmentalized in three ways in the same manner. And so those three ways for us have been defined as spirit, soul, and body. Well, um, if one of those is out of balance, if if the spirit, which is who we are, essentially, it's the part of us that never dies. It's it's the thing you can't explain. It's more than personality. It's your essence, and it's what shows up in a room, whether you ever say a word or not. It's what's left behind long after you're gone. That's your spirit. Your soul realm is like your mind, your will, your intellect, your emotions, your capacity to make decisions, your personality. Um, it's how your spirit expresses itself. And then you have the body, the flesh, the physical piece, the part that actually has a time limit that does die. This is the nature that was not in play until the fall, according to the tenets of the Christian faith. The physicality of life wasn't an issue until there was a spiritual one until something spiritual was out of balance. So that leads us back to the purpose of the show. That inner dialogue has been in existence since Genesis. The three parts of who we are and that balance. And when something is not quite right, either in your body, your soul, or your spirit, it impacts who you are, how you interact, and how you show up. So, we on this podcast will work to maintain the balance um, using this play on words as a conversation within ourselves. What are you saying to you? You know, there's God voice, there's God's voice, there's your voice, and then there's therapeutic wisdom. So a lot of people experience this in their private journal sessions or their individual spiritual processing, but um, some people don't because they don't think that deeply or they don't take the time to really sit with themselves. So as we go through this journey together, we will be examining topics that impact our spirit, our soul, and our body to keep everything in check at least once a week. So we'll do that with the tool of journaling. Hold on, let me get the journal. Now, over on the side, you should be able to see a QR code. The QR code will lead you to my link tree. My link tree is a resource that we can use as a topic another day for our soul and body realms, how we are actually out here interacting in the world and getting to the money to supply our physical needs. We can go over Linktree as a topic, but the Linktree has access to all of my books. It has access to music, which Tri-A-Logue hasn't been released yet on all platforms, but I'll get it up there for you to download on your own. And there's a sample download on there for the planner. Let me switch over so that you can see a preview of that. So this is the first page of the planner. There's a welcome there. Um, Lots of words and things. We're not going to read those. But you'll find, this is important, inside tools. The planner is also on Amazon. Pretty thick, but it's set to go through an entire year of journaling. And you can set goals for yourself, create daily and weekly plans. It has a space for affirmations, a space to reflect spiritually and emotionally. Uh, there are weekly meditations embedded in there. You can track your habits, your growth, meaningful moments, and help you to budget your time and energy. Um, Time we know needs to be budgeted. It's called a schedule. But energy also has to be budgeted. Where you put your energy is just as important as how you spend your time and how much you allocate to certain things will help free up space to do the things that you want to do, free up space and time to think and to brainstorm and um, set a few boundaries so that you have time for yourself for this type of development and this type of spiritual growth. You have to put it on a calendar. You have to block it off. You have to protect it just like you would time to go to work or time for an appointment or time for your children's things. You have to budget your spiritual and emotional time and energy the same way. How much time am I dedicating to regenerating and refueling the things in me that I need to function? Like a lot of people don't even have that on their schedule. It's not even built in. There might be some gym time there. So we got the physical, but what about the spiritual and the emotional? How much time are you spending reading uh, professional articles or things to enhance your job? Or how much time are you spending reading and researching and watching podcasts or movies or whatever to pour in to you for inspiration, for motivation, for growth? It needs to be written down. It needs to be blocked off. It needs to be protected with boundaries. And time is the boundary for that. So get a journal, get a notebook, get a calendar or a planner. You don't have to get mine, but there's a template out there for you. Here's what it looks like. So you have, I'll zoom out a little bit. You have what I call a week overview. So today, on a Sunday, I would sit down and determine what my week looks like. There's a box for date over in the corner, space for important things that you have to do. And then um, Stephen Covey, a book I read, my mother gave me when I was late high school, early college. And then I also participated in a few programs in college that read this book. It was called Seven Habits of Highly Successful People. And we had to teach it at the middle school that I was teaching at the time. Um, it was a part of our social studies block. And one of the habits that Mr. Covey presented was beginning with the end in mind, um, being proactive instead of being reactive. So that box down in the corner, challenges and concerns, gives you the chance to look at the week and ahead of time, like before it happens. Sketch out the things that you think might be a challenge or concern or something that you need to plan for. And it doesn't have to be like a scheduling thing as far as, okay, because first thing that comes with mind with planning and a schedule and a daily planner is just time constraints. But what spiritual, emotional, mental thing that's happening this week might cause you to be not on time for work or not focused during a certain time or not able to take on certain things emotionally because you know it's happening this week. Examples, death dates or loved ones that are not with us anymore, their birthdays, or um, an event that takes up a lot of your mental capacity. For example, I had last week and the week before were were jam packed with things like this for me because I had um a play that I was participating in on Friday, the 29th, but it was also my biological father's birthday. and he was planning to come into town. Also, the week of my brother's birthday, who passed away. Also, the week that my best friend was moving. Uh, and then a holiday. So work wise, there were some things that needed to happen. Then I had medical appointments. So in my challenges and concerns box, I had to put some things in there um that um that were not just time challenges and concerns. They were emotional and spiritual concerns. And I knew that those things in the beginning of those 2 weeks, I knew that I was going to have to incorporate those things into my day to day, or at least some time to dedicate to the mental effort that was required to get through those challenges. So that box is there to remind us that we have to begin with the end in mind. We have to be proactive. We can't just let stuff happen to us, especially when we know it's coming. All right, hold on, y'all, because my cousin called. I ain't tell anybody I was going live for real today. I think I told my team. Um, there's also a thing. I just be doing stuff. Okay, so we got a place for the date. We got a place for things to do. We have a box for challenges and concerns, and that box does not have to be limited to time constraints. It can also be the things that are emotional and spiritual that require your attention. Okay, and then of course your daily box of notes, things you can put down, big rocks. Overview, think big picture, because there's a space for individual thoughts. Every day, there's this page. So you got 7 of these. Of course, another space for the date. Left it open so that um, the sporadic planner people, because there are sporadic planner people that are not dedicated to daily planning. And you got to be realistic about yourself. I could have made a planner that was already lined out with dates, but I felt like that would have been a waste of people's $23, right? This builds in this style of planner builds in the capacity for the natural breaks that we take with ourselves. There are people in this world who are very heavily regimented and will do something every single day without fail. But then there are others who will start something and do it for a week, maybe not even a week. They might do it for 2 days. And then life happens. They haven't budgeted their time and it gets away from them. So I designed the book with that in mind. Okay, it might have got away from you. You might have started and did an overview 1 week, and you might have planned 2 days out of that week. But wherever you stop, you can just keep going. That pressure that we put on ourselves to do a thing every single day without fail, without any hiccups, without anything being in the way is just not realistic. It takes so much work and effort that um, it puts a pressure on your soul that you don't really require. Now, discipline is a thing, though. Discipline is a thing because it's a choice that you're making to make the time, but it's built for grace. So until you get to the level of discipline that helps you to do this every single day, it's fine. If you do it on the 7th and you skip the 8th, the ninth, and the 10th, you can just come back and put in the date that you're back. Also, why I developed that week sample, because you can print it yourself and reprint these pages as you need them. So, designed with everybody in mind. Now I know everybody's day doesn't start at 6 a.m., which is something that I thought about. But you have this thing, it's called a pen. You can mark that out and put the times in that you want. Um, but I have been thinking about taking the times off of that so that people can completely customize their day, because some people's day may start at midnight or it might start at 7 p.m. and they need hours overnight. Shout out to all the people who work at nighttime. I be thinking about y'all. All right, and then the last part of the journal is the weekly Tri-A-Logue uh, reflection. So this gets back into that three-part nature that I described at the beginning. You have the body, the physical, and the questions are pretty much the same every week. And this is the tracker part of it. You know, this is where you can track your habits. So, did I get enough rest and sleep this week? Hmm. What foods and activity gave me energy? What drained me? And this is just about the physical. So if it was an emotional event, just list it, but don't get into the why right there in that box. Just list the thing that caused the physical drainage. And then what will happen over time, if you increase in the discipline and maintain this, you'll be able to see where your energy is going. What is causing your physical body to feel great or not feel good? Real important. All right, then your soul, the mental, the like I said, the soul is the mind, the will, the intellect, the emotions, the personality, the expression of the spirit. It's it's that psychological realm, right? What emotions showed up this week? What triggered the emotions? What insights did the emotions reveal about my healing? Because really what happens with your emotional expressions, it's showing, it's pointing at something, it's showing you something, it's giving you the opportunity to say, hey, it's kind of like when the computer screams at you with a warning box. Check this out. You did something wrong. They did something wrong. The system is not processing. So the emotions are an indicator of healing, or lack thereof. So it, that box can get a little spicy. All right. And then the spiritual box up under the last one. Who or what challenged my faith this week? And how did I respond? Because we all know that the response is what get looked at. It doesn't matter what caused it. It's the response that people be like, "What is going on?" So your response, my response. Let me use the proper pronouns here. My response um is based on what happened for sure, but my response is what people see. So this is and my response is how people have been traditionally judging uh closeness with God. People equate your external behavior when you declare yourself Christian. People equate external behavior with the amount of relationship that you have. And I don't quite believe that. I believe that, like I said, there's three parts of us and there's a balance. But a lot of people base their view of you and how spiritual you are and how godlike and Christ-like you are based off of how you respond. Like if you're responding with the soft answer, right? And the not me answer, the politically correct, polished Christian tones and things, then it validates your Christianity in their eyes. But the truth of the matter is we're human and we're messy. We have responses in our physical body when things happen. We have emotional responses that we've been taught to suppress. Um, mm. So that needs to be processed somewhere. We can get deeper off into that, but it needs to be processed somewhere. And so this is a space for you to process the spiritual things safely, um, without the judgment, because people will challenge your physical and your mental and your spiritual self is what becomes in conflict because you want to respond with that same energy and you have to fight to respond the way your spirit is telling you to. That's also fine. Then there's the manifestation section. Right? Nothing strange about the word manifestation. This is where you center yourself, center your energy, and you actively call into reality the things that you want to see in your life. Half of the reason we don't see the stuff is because we don't write it down. Writing things down helps you gravitate toward it, and writing it in a place where you can see it all the time. And then if you're tracking it, okay, wait a minute. Now I've been trying to manifest. I've been writing this down every week. That will point you in the direction of what are you doing? Because manifesting things does not mean sitting in a room and talking to God and saying, I want a truck. I want a truck. I want a truck. No, no. You get the vision of the truck and then you start researching the truck, figuring out everything you need to know about the truck, pricing of the truck, how are you going to sustain the truck, a whole plan for the truck. It's not an obsession, but you start moving in the direction of what you want by finding the most information out about the thing and doing thing that participates in the path to that thing. So faith without works is dead. You have to call things that be not as though they were, and you have to put that together. So you say what it is that you're looking for, but then you start aligning your steps and your week and your time and your speech and your actions with that thing. And then we shouldn't have this on the manifestation list the same way every week for a whole year. By the end of the year, this list should morph because we should start seeing things. And then it's trackable. You can go back and check out, oh, you know what? Got that little check mark over there. Oh, wait a minute. We manifested that. So it's goal setting, but in a spiritual way. But goals, if you know anything about goals, they have to be SMART goals. And then you have to have some actionable items that you can actually observe to see that you're working towards that goal. That's real manifestation, not just sitting and saying I want to be on Oprah. And I'm talking to myself. Like I have something on my wall right now. It says Oprah's book club. And I had to check myself because the whimsical uh traditional Christian in me says, I named it, I claimed it, why she ain't called me yet? Right? Like I already wrote the book, so why I'm not on the book club? But that's not how it works. You can't write one book and be like, "Yep, this the one I'm gonna be on Oprah." No, where's your body of work? What time did you put into the craft? Yes, I'm manifesting Oprah's book club, but how many book club uh books have I read? Do I even know what kind of books she picks? How many book club shows have I watched? Now, I do sit and watch her book club. I do read. I haven't read one lately because I've been writing, but I have the last one I read was The Water Dancer. It's been a few years, but I do keep up with her podcast. I kind of watch and analyze her book club shows to see what types of books she's picking, who's in the audience, kinds of questions does she ask the author. Am I prepared to answer those type of questions? Do I have a team? Question mark. Because I know these people just didn't show up to Oprah by themselves. You know, there are a lot of things that I had to introspectively discern about myself, and you can't just put something on the wall but don't have anything tangible that you're walking out to get to it. I can't be a household name if my name isn't anywhere. I can't be a household name if nobody even knows what I look like. So the idea and concept of me being an introvert and wanting to be behind the scenes, behind the camera, um, that's usually where I do my best work. But you got to step out from behind the piano. That's what Dre told Legend, and I believe it. And that's where we are. So that's the journal. This is the outline of the show. This is how it will go. The goal is to do it every week, but I'm also giving myself grace. But I want to work on the discipline of blocking off time to be mindful, to meditate, to manifest, and to take care of all three parts of me. Yep, yep, yep. So we did our mindfulness and meditation with our theme song. We went over the topics of the week and we did some live journaling. I didn't actually journal today, but I went over how the journal is set up. So remember, it's you versus you. Tri-A-Logue is an inner dialogue with your spirit, your soul, your body. What are you saying to you? So get a copy of the template or buy the journal or just get you a notebook. Get you a notebook and just start. Okay, I'm gonna play us out. Have a good week.
to move. Shift it, Lord. Manifest your glory. Shift it, Lord. Manifest in me.
When we lift our hands, chains gotta break. When we raise our voice, strongholds shake. Spirit, soul, body, all in line. All three are gathered. Manifestation time. Shift the atmosphere. Shift all about it. Shift it now. Oh, glory's breaking now. All that is breaking now. Oh, spirit, soul, body, all aligned. Oh, all three are gathered. Manifestation time.
Atmosphere shift, let your power fall. Spirit, soul, body, you can have it all. Manifest glory, let the world see. Your presence, Lord, is reality.
Oh, you make me whole.
Spirit, soul, and body restored in control. My body moves, declaring your name. My soul cries out, forever you reign. My spirit knows your word is true. What you spoke will manifest and break through.
Shift the atmosphere. Our body shifted now. Oh, glory's breaking now. Our body breaking now. Oh, spirit, soul, body, all aligned. Oh, all three are gathered. Manifestation time.
Atmosphere shift, let your power fall. Spirit, soul, body, you can have it all. Manifest glory, let the world see. Your presence, Lord, is reality.
Oh, you make me whole.
Spirit, soul, and body
Restored in control. Moving in my spirit, moving in my soul. Feel it in my body. I've been made whole.